Hey everybody, Nick from Airsoft Bros here, and over the years, my kit or my loadout has been changing drastically. I don't know if you guys remember the last time I posted a loadout video. That was some years ago. I would imagine like somewhere around 2020, 2021-ish. Um, but in that time between then and now, my kit has changed dramatically since then. Actually, like pretty much almost none of the stuff that I had back then I still use today. So I thought that I would do another kit video and kind of go over what I run now. All right, first things first, we'll go over the belt. This is a Wolf Tactical Duty Belt. I got it off Amazon a long time ago for I think around 40 bucks. And for a pretty cheap belt, I mean, it's held up quite a bit. I've taken this to most of the casual games I've been to. I've taken this to Rev Omega. I'm pretty sure I took it to Rev 12, but I'm not entirely sure on that. I'd have to go back and like look, but I'm pretty sure I definitely took this to Rev Omega, and it's just been an amazing belt. It's really never been too uncomfortable, and a lot of times I never really noticed it was there, apart from the holster and the dump pouch. Just kind of I can feel them, I know they're there, but regardless. Speaking of the holster, I have a Blackhawk Omnivore holster that was meant for the Streamlight TLR1s. That is the light that I run on my pistols. And on that mount, I have it on a Safariland QLS system. So say I get a new holster down the line, and a more gun-specific holster down the line, and I wanted to switch holsters just like that, I can do that. So there are these two tabs right down here that I'm going to push in, and the holster just slides right on out. Now, the QLS system is held onto a True North Concepts kind of like holster bar thing. I can't quite remember what it's called, but I'll put a picture right here. And this is definitely a lot sturdier than what I was running before. Let me go grab it real fast. So before, I had the holster mounted onto actual Blackhawk hardware. So I had this mid-ride belt attachment, and the holster would sit on top. And then on the back here, I had this leg strap that would just kind of go like that, and it would pivot, which made the overall fit a bit more comfortable. However, something that I definitely noticed when running this is that you absolutely need to thread lock the screw that goes in here, because as it moves around, it slowly unscrews itself. And to make matters worse, the screw that I used for this wasn't long enough, so it was held on pretty poorly, and this was known to fall off occasionally, and I would just throw it to the side and I would only run this. But nothing against Blackhawk, this was just kind of, how I ran it, and how terrible it was, I guess. But now with the True Concepts, this is a much more stable. It's much more stable. It's not going to fall apart on me. And this time I made sure to thread lock all of the screws so that they don't unscrew themselves as I play. Over here, I have my mag pouches. This is a Krydex double pistol mag pouch, or 9mm mag pouch. And that's mainly due because I normally run 2 extra mags for my pistol. And I also got them so that I could also run my MP5 off my belt. And for that, I have another of these pouches that I could put behind it right here so that I could hold double the amount of mags, or 2 pistol mags and 2 MP5 mags, so I can just only run my belt. These pouches have little plastic inserts in them, which keep the mags contained and keeps them from falling out. And I will say that this has been an excellent mag pouch. I haven't had a mag ever fall out on me, and they held them in just enough to where I could still pull them out with one hand, and then re-indexing is just, it's so much nicer. So these mag pouches they're pretty good. And if you may notice, they do look a lot like S-Tac Kiwis, which are pouches that I want to pick up pretty soon. Actually, I do want to replace these with Kiwis, but they are a good clone of the Kiwis. As far as clone gear goes, these aren't terrible. So I really don't think you can go wrong with one of these. I still think you should probably get the actual S-Tac Kiwis, but if you're tight on a budget and you need mag pouches, whether for your pistol or for rifle pouches, these aren't a bad way to go. And on the back here, I have my dump pouch. And I don't think a lot of people quite understand how useful a dump pouch actually is. I have kept a lot of things in here. I kept my barrel bag in here, empty magazines, grenades, or rather my empty used Thunderbee cores, a spare shell with a CO2 in it for my Thunderbee. I've kept a lot of things in here, and it's so useful. It is so incredibly useful. But yeah, there's my dump pouch. This is my belt, and it's a duty belt, so it uses this Velcro inner belt that I would actually put around my belt loops, and then this would go over top of it. And that results in not only a belt I could use to keep my pants up, but it's also a very sturdy and very stable platform. You can use battle belts, which go over the waist, and they're a bit thicker along the sides. You can definitely go that route, but I definitely prefer something like this. I feel it's a bit more comfortable, and it's not sitting so high on my waist so that I can just have it around my belt loops, and it's at the perfect height. Setting the belt off to the side, I have my helmet. This is it's an Emerson Repro helmet, and it's got a whole bunch of cool different things on it. So first things first, the ear pro that I am running are Howard Lake Impact Sports. They are an electronic earmuff, so when I put this on real fast, sorry, I'm kind of out of frame, but when I put these on, there's this dial right here. If I were to turn that backwards, these 2 microphones on the side of the earmuffs on each earmuff give spatial audio and actually amplifies more quiet noises and quiets louder noises, which kind of equalize the sound between a whisper and a grenade going off right next to me. I would, especially if you play indoors or at Milsim events or anywhere there is loud noises, get yourself some ear pro. Your hearing is very important, just like your sight. and yeah, it would suck to have a grenade go right off next to you, and you lose your hearing because of it. So I would definitely recommend running Ear Pro like this. It's just a much safer alternative to not having them and then risking your hearing when a Thunder Bee goes off next to you in a indoor game, or the guy with a blank fire block 2 at a Milsom West event just opens up and you're left sitting there like, oh god, no, it's so loud. Yeah, definitely get some good quality Ear Pro. Now on this Ear Pro, I have a special mic that is designed to fit on these specific earmuffs, and that wires itself to a push-to-talk button on my carrier. More on that in a moment. It's a very budget setup. I wasn't looking to spend a whole lot on Ear Pro. I do believe I made the right choice on Ear Pro and not getting something different. These are very, very good earmuffs. The mic, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and that can be kind of annoying. But when it works pretty well. And like sometimes it will end up, because I run comms with some of my friends, especially for events like the Liberty Shield events at MK Airsoft. I run comms with my friends, and so we can be at wherever on the field, and we can always call each other and contact one another to see how things are going, where people need to be, and stuff like that. So it came to a point where I could hear them, but they couldn't hear me, which right now I'm attributing to the push to talk button. It's admittedly a very cheap push to talk, and I could definitely benefit from getting a new one, which is something that I do plan on doing at some point. But right now it works. Maybe not very well, but it works for what I need it to, and especially during games when I'm not running comms, it just kind of, it just looks cool. So when I'm not using it, it's just kind of there for looks, and I don't need the mic to run the actual earmuffs as a hearing protection. So I don't need to use the mic, but when I do need to use it, once I get the kinks all sorted out, it works fine. It works fine. On the front of the carrier, I have my GoPro mount. This is on a some helmet mount that I found online, and it's holding up pretty well. It doesn't move around. Though, if you remember, during Liberty Shield Chapter 1, when I first got this helmet and got it fit with the GoPro, the case wiggled around a lot, and that was because there was too much space in between the mount and the helmet to where it had enough room to jiggle around. So I put a little foam insert in between the mount and the helmet, and all of that wobble is gone. The mount itself has a waterproof case on it that I drilled holes in. Here, I can take the camera out so you can better see it. I drilled holes into the side of the case for so that the microphones aren't muffled. They can hear, or I guess pick up sound much better if I hadn't done that. And of course, inside the case is my GoPro. This is a GoPro Hero 7 Black. And if Me personally, I love this camera. It's got all of the cool, up-to-date features of a lot of more recent GoPro iterations, but it doesn't have a lot of the same issues that a lot of newer GoPros have, like so a substantial overheating issue. Um, I've only ever had this overheat on me once, and that was during Rev Omega when I had it set up to an external power bank that I put inside of my um, butt pack on the Alice, and that was the only time it ever overheated on me. Once I took that out and started using actual batteries, it cooled right down and it was fine. Haven't had a overheating issue since. And of course, on the top of the helmet, I have a helmet cover because before, without the helmet cover, it just kind of looked a bit silly. And the helmet cover adds a lot more texture. And on the top, I have the Liberty Shield Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 patches on here. I have on each side, I have these purple flags. These are identifying flags for events when I'm running with my friends, so that we can look and see, oh, that's so-and-so, that's my buddy over there. So that's what these purple flags are for. And of course, on the back, I have to have the 6-4 patch because the 6-4 is the best faction in all of Titanfall, and Marvin's finest hour can go suck my left nut. And I guess kind of with the helmet, I should go over my eye pro and face protection setup. So for face protection, I use this Valhalla Loki mesh mask. It's like their normal Valhalla mask, except this one was designed to go over the nose. However, for reasons you'll hear in a bit, I prefer running it below my nose. Mainly because I guess it's just a bit more comfortable for me. I do prefer it like this over this, but that's just me. It's pretty breathable fabric, and the fact that the front bit is made of mesh means that all of my exhales go through the mesh and not up into my eye pro, causing fogs. So that is definitely extremely helpful for not fogging. And while we are on the topic of not fogging, I'm gonna go over my eye pro. These are Pyramex V2G full seal goggles, and they are absolutely amazing. They have never fogged on me once, and that was mostly due to not only the actual goggles themselves, but rather having this underneath my nose instead of on top of my nose, and not tucking the actual fabric inside of the eye ports, because then your sweat condenses and it builds up inside of the fabric, and then that gets into your eyes, and then it turns to vapor, and then you get fog. These goggles are mil PRF 324/32 rated, which is a rating that the U.S. military currently uses for ballistic goggles and just kind of eye pro in general. And to kind of put that into perspective, the baseline for good airsoft eye pro is the ANSI rating, ANSI like I think it was like Z87.1. I've also seen Z87 plus. It's kind of the bare minimum for decent eye protection, and the mil PRF rating is ANSI on steroids. They are put under a lot more stress and Yeah, these lenses, they will not break. And it's especially good because you can find these for surprisingly cheap. I found these for around 20 bucks when I first picked them up, and probably some of the best 20 bucks I ever spent. So again, to reiterate, um, don't cheap out on your eyes. Get good eye pro, um, because your eyes cannot be replaced. Well, they can, but it's really expensive. Um, but your eyesight can and will be permanently damaged if you get cheap eye pro and allow BBs to fly through the lenses or break the lenses and hit your eyes. Not a fun day. Not a fun day at all. Get good eye pro. And I guess while I'm at it, because I have them out right in front of me, I got my gloves. I can't quite remember the brand of glove these are, but I got them a little while ago, and they honestly fit pretty well. They're not like a lot of gloves that I've seen and worn. They're not too incredibly bulky. They fit pretty well. I really like the hard knuckles, though they do tighten up whenever I clench my fists. That's just kind of how it goes. But these gloves are pretty good. I do enjoy them. Again, I forget what brand they are. If I knew, I'd say it, but I don't know. I don't remember. And now, finally, it is time to go over my plate carrier. Um, Before I get into the carrier that I'm using right now, for the longest time, I ran a Redemption Tactical Crusader 2.0. There's a picture right here. And I ran it for about a year, I think, and it was an okay carrier, but it definitely needed replacing. So the choice that I went with, this is a Cry JPC 1.0 that I picked up for around 170 bucks. And again, I've seen them for much cheaper, actually around the same price as the Crusader 2.0, which I got for around 150 bucks. So knowing how cheap these can get, I definitely probably would have picked one of these up first. But anyway, going into this, I'm going to actually lower the camera so that I don't have to constantly pick it up and slam it back down. All right, on the front of the carrier, I have the Unobtainium Gear Drip, or the Dank Robber integrated placard, and the way it's supposed to work is you can use it as either a placard for a plate carrier, or as its own standalone chest rig, like the Unobtainium Gear Dank Robber that I have right here. This is a standalone rig, so I can't use this as a play card. It's only as a chest rig, and it is a pretty decent chest rig. But this drip allows me to basically have more versatility. It was designed to be a more customizable and more adaptable version of the Dank Robber, and I think it does an amazing job at that. Inside of the mag pouches, I have their sled inserts, which is basically much like the Krydex pouches have that little plastic insert. These inserts are used for mag retention, and they do grip onto my mags pretty well. And speaking of my mags, I run these, actually I'll use this one, I already pulled it out. I use these Arcturus 30 to 130 variable mid caps, whether I want to run, and I got these for a bit more versatility, whether or not I wanted to run real caps or 30 rounds, or if I wanted to run 130 rounds. But these are a very good mag. They feed in all of my M4s. They are a pretty solid magazine choice. On the side right here, I have my Thunder Bee for my grenades, and I got these slimmer, newer shells for them so that they can easily fit inside of the grenade pouch that's on the side right here, and it does fit pretty well. It's not too tight, it's not too loose, it's just perfect. And of course I can adjust it with this little piece right here, so it can fit a lot of different grenade types, but for Thunder Bees they work pretty well. And even on the Dank Robber, I was able to fit much larger shells. Again, I'll put a picture right here. I was able to fit a lot larger shells in those pouches, so yeah, this can hold a Thunder Bee pretty well. I would recommend using these slimmer grenade pouches just because it's a bit more streamlined, and I personally think it looks better. And they also go off quicker because of how Thunder Bees are designed. So that's always a plus. And on the other side right here, I have my radio. I run a Baofeng UV5R radio. It's a very, very cheap radio, but for the price, it is actually pretty good. I run this for comms with my friends, and yeah, it's not a bad radio by any means. It's actually quite decent. Of course. One thing I don't like, actually, here's something I don't like about this, is especially for the mag pouch, it is always loosening itself, whether I want it to or not. So I wish that was a bit more secure and it wouldn't loosen. It's not like the radio is gonna fly out anyway, but I would like for it to be a bit more secure. From the radio up here, I have the push-to-talk mic that I was talking about. Again, very cheap push-to-talk. I am planning on swapping this out for something else later down the line. And I'm sure you've already seen this many times, but I have a 1-point sling that is routed through the straps, the shoulder straps of the carrier, and I find this to be way more comfortable than running the sling over top of the carrier. One of the big advantages to this is that my both my shoulders get the same amount of weight, so it's not like I have a sling that's digging into my neck whenever running this, and it's more comfortable. Yeah, it's mostly for comfort, and it definitely works at that. And actually, while I'm at it, to hold up the placard, the drip, these are ALX placard adapters for Cry JPCs. You don't need it for a 2.0 since they already have these. I'm pretty sure they already have these buckles, but you can't fit a placard to the JPC off rip. So what you really need to do is you need to get a Velcro a Velcro MOLLE tab. You need to route that through the MOLLE on the front of the carrier and then secure it with these buckles that you can get separately. And one of my favorite things about them is that they have these loops on the sides right here, so I can keep the push-to-talk cord nice and secured to the carrier, and I can also keep my hydration bladder straw secured to the carrier. More on that in a little bit. On the strap up here, I have my Deadlight. So I just turn it on, it's red, so I'm dead, or I can use that for different teams, whether I'm on red team or blue team or whatever color teams we happen to be running at the time. So it's a pretty handy piece of kit, and I do quite enjoy it. I don't have anything on the cover buns, Mostly just because I don't really need anything on the cummerbunds. I've especially with the Crusader 2.0, I found that putting things on the cummerbunds really restricted my arm up and down movement, so I prefer it being very streamlined and slick along my upper torso. It's just kind of how it's most comfortable for me. On the front of the carrier, I have a small utility pouch that I put on the underside of the front plate bag, and inside of here I would keep whatever tools, GoPro batteries, SD cards, my phone, and a lot of really handy things, especially since with the whole entire kit on, I can't access my pockets very well, so especially for quick and easy, like if there's something I need to grab and I don't want to go digging through my pockets for it, I can just open the zipper and there it is. Moving to the back of the carrier, I have two Condor, these are M4 mag pouches, and inside of these mag pouches are Elite Force 140 round mid caps, plastic mid caps, and I use these for buddy mags. If you don't know what a buddy mag is, it is essentially where, I can get this back in, 1 second. Buddy mags are essentially mags that I keep on my person that I can lend to someone who has run out of BBs, and they're just kind of there to lend to people. And the reason why I chose these mags is because they're cheap, they're very easy to replace, and I don't really care if they get lost or broken, which is why I don't lend. I choose not to lend people these because I like these mags. I don't want them getting lost or broken. But these, I don't really care. They're cheap and they are very easily replaceable. And these mag pouches are mounted to the Condor Tide Pool hydration bladder, or hydration pack. So inside of, I'm not going to open it, but inside of here is a hydration bladder that I fill with water, and that whenever I need to take a drink, that routes through the straw. And yeah, it's a hydration bladder. There's not really all that much to say about it. But there's also this pouch right here that I could keep things in if I wanted to. I don't really keep anything in there because I'm not reaching behind me to grab anything. If there's anything that I need to have on my person, it's going to be in here. But for what it is, it works and it does the job pretty well. And yeah, I really don't have too much to say about it. This is another thing that's going to get replaced. I haven't completely decided on what I'm going to replace it with, but for now it works, and it works pretty well. And of course, inside of the plate bags, I have foam or rigid foam plates, mainly because I can't run actual armor. If I could run armor, I would. Not because I think I'm going to get shot at a airsoft game, but just because you know, you got to embrace the LARP. But those are really expensive, and I haven't had the time to actually pick up a set of plates. If I could, I would, but I can't. So foam plates will have to do. And they are, for being foam, they are very rigid. So I'm not running my carrier so loosely, and everything is nice and stable, because you want your carrier to be stable. It's not flopping around, it's not jumping up and down when I'm running. So yeah, if you ever get a plate carrier, I would highly recommend running plates in here. Maybe not real plates for airsoft use, but for rigidity's sake, definitely get some plates, even if they're foam. their actual armor. If you run your real kit with you, which I know some people do, all power to you. But for airsoft purposes, foam plates work pretty well, and it results in the carrier actually being pretty light. It doesn't really get too heavy. Only time I ever really gets heavy is when I actually put water in the hydration bladder. But other than that, yeah, this is my carrier setup, and I really like it. And here I am all set up. The pants that I'm currently wearing are Emerson G3s. They are a pretty comfortable pant. I have another set of these in black. And yeah, they're pretty comfy, relatively cheap, easy to get, and I do really like them. But as far as like clothing goes, I could really run whatever. Like I said, I could run these G3s, or I could run the black pair, or I could just run a hoodie and jeans. But for events, I do have a tan shirt that I wear with these pants, so that people know that, hey, I'm on the tan team. Just cover yourself in tan. But yeah, this is what it looks like all set up. It's pretty comfy, it's pretty light, and I really do enjoy this setup. And with that, thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, comment, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Instagram and Discord links are in the description below, so please go check those out as well. If you like this setup, or if you think different changes could be had to the setup, let me know in the comments below. I read all the comments. I try my best to respond to all the comments. So your suggestions will not go unheard. But yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.